Hello and welcome. The southern peninsula of India is the one last unconquered political bastion for the Bharatiya Janata Party. To talk about the ruling party's roadmap for the southern states and the significance of these assembly elections, we're joined at the India Today Conclave South by the BJP's President JP Nadda. Nadda ji, welcome to the India Today South Conclave. This is the first time that you've ever come to a conclave after having become president, and we are delighted to have you with us. Thank you so much for joining us at the India Today Conclave South.
Thank you, Rahul ji. Really, it's for the first time that I've come to India Today Conclave, and I really thank you for giving me an opportunity, and I also thank you for giving me an audience with such an illustrious audience and gathering, which I can see. And yes, through your channel, I'll get an opportunity to communicate my ideas and the ideas of Bharatiya Janata Party to millions of your viewers. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Nadda ji, I want to start by asking you about the significance of this round of assembly elections. 824 seats, about 18% of India's electorate. The large focus has so far been on West Bengal. But from the perspective of the Bharatiya Janata Party, how important are the southern states in your calculation? Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Puducherry. Do you see the BJP as a fringe player in this election in the south, or do you see yourself as using this election as a stepping stone going forward?
You see, we take every election in an important way, and we take it very seriously. This time we have got an opportunity to prove ourselves in the southern states, and we want to avail this opportunity, and that is why we are going in an aggressive manner on issues which are related to development, and which is also related what has stopped the development in the south and how we can go forward under the dynamic leadership of Shri Narendra Modi ji. All these issues we are going to put forth before the people, before the electorate of the southern states. I find that in this elections, we are going to form the government in West Bengal, we will retain Assam, and we will NDA will win in Tamil Nadu, and we will form government in Puducherry, and we will do good in Kerala. This is what we feel, and we want to make this election where issues are important, and how electorate accepts these issues will be the important aspect on which we will be strategizing. And we take this election very in an important way, seriously, and we development is our agenda, which we are going to put forth before the southern states. Tamil Nadu, as I said, again NDA will form the government, and Puducherry we are going to form the government this time.
So, we are currently in Tamil Nadu, and I want to spend some time talking to you about your party's prospects over here. You are in alliance with the AIADMK. This time they are without the towering personality of J. Lalita. There is also a lot of anti-incumbency. We saw in the Lok Sabha elections of 2019, the DMK alliance got 39 seats, just one seat they could not get. All the other Lok Sabha seats were won by the DMK. How difficult does it put the BJP, how difficult does it make it for the BJP to try and win when you're on the side of a party which has so much anti-incumbency to deal with?
Rahul, lot of water has passed through and has flown, and since 2019 there is a sea change in the politics of Tamil Nadu and the image of NDA, and how NDA is coming up, that I would like to share with you. If I talk about the schemes, I find that the schemes initiated by Prime Minister Modi has been successfully implemented by the Tamil Nadu government, the AIADMK government in Tamil Nadu, and I can see that at the grassroots level that development has taken place. If I talk about the management of pandemic, whatever facilities were provided by the government of India, that has been implemented and that has reached the last man in Tamil Nadu. If I talk about the vaccination, people talk about Modi UC, that inoculation vaccination program has been successfully being implemented in Tamil Nadu. If I talk about the schemes and the budget, in Modi 2, first year approximately 1.5 lakh crores were allotted to Tamil Nadu, and that has been spent again in Modi 2. The second year we have allocated 2 lakh crores for metro, for railways, for highways, for pharmaceutical hubs, and for other development which are taking place in for solar park in Tamil Nadu. All these developments are taking place in Tamil Nadu. If I talk about the cultural identity, Prime Minister Modi has seen that the cultural identity of Tamil Nadu is brought forward not only on the national forums, but also on international forums. And here in Tamil Nadu also, it was Modi ji who gave the permission for Jallikottu. If I talk about the Vetri Vale, that has also been accepted, very much appreciated by the people of Tamil Nadu. So, if we are talk on the cultural side, the social side, the development side, lot of development is taking place in Tamil Nadu, and the popularity of Modi ji is immense. So, we feel, and there is no anti-incumbency and there is no pro-incumbency towards DMK. So, and if I talk about DMK, people have not forgotten the whole UPA government, the people have not forgotten. When I talk about 2G, it means 2 generations of Maran family involved in corruption. If I talk about 3G, it is the Karunanidhi family which is has been involved for 3 generations in corruption. If I talk about 4G, it is Congress party which has been involved in corruption for 4 generations, and people have not forgotten it, and there is no pro-incumbency for DMK party, and there is no anti-incumbency against AIDMK. So, I am very optimistic about it, and I feel that in coming times the election will be fought on issues, and we are going to take these issues very aggressively among the people. And the Vetri Vale issue, if I talk about the presence of Bharatiya Janata Party, person or a leader like Stalin, who is an atheist, if he has to hold the Vetri Vale, this means that the issues raised by Bharatiya Janata Party has been well accepted by the people of Tamil Nadu, and that is why he has to also succumb to the issues which have been raised by us. So, there is a lot of water has flown after 2019, and in 2021 elections we are going to form the government.
Nadda ji, the politics of the South, especially the politics of Tamil Nadu, has largely been opposed to the idea of a domination by the Hindi speaking UP walas, Bihar walas, and your party is largely seen as a big champion of the Hindi language. आप हिंदी बोलते हैं, बड़े गर्व से बोलते हैं. Do you see this as a clash between what the Tamil people aspire for, their own identity, their own language, vis-a-vis the idea that the RSS and the BJP would like to foist on Tamil Nadu this idea of one India which speaks one language and is homogeneous in its approach to politics and its view of the world?
Rahul ji, here I would like to say that lot of misconception has been created in past just after independence. Lot has been said about RSS, lot has been said about the Bharatiya Jansangh and later about Bharatiya Janata Party, which is not it is not the correct thing. The reality is that Bharatiya Janata Party believes in federalism, Bharatiya Janata Party believes in nationalism, but Bharatiya Janata Party believes in regional aspirations, and it is the Prime Minister Modi ji who has taken the literature of Tamil Nadu, the saints of Tamil Nadu, and the culture of Tamil Nadu, not only on international, not only on national forum, but on international forum. So, the regional identity has to be protected, the regional language has to be protected. And if you see in this education, new education policy, the national education policy which came last year, what we have said, that the medium of instructions till 8th class will be regional. So, we consider that the regional language, regional culture has to be taken into consideration, and our philosophy has been, Rahulji, that think globally, act locally. So, when we act locally, it is Bharatiya Janata Party which has taken out an issue like vetri veil, and it is atheists like DMK and Stalin who had objected to it. So, we are the organization, we are the political party who support the regional aspirations, and there should be an assimilation between the national, federal structure and the regional aspirations. I will just try to explain you, Rahulji. For first 20 years after independence, Congress ruled Tamil Nadu, and what happened? That the regional aspirations were ignored, and it was not only ignored, the regional aspirations were suppressed. And what happened? That there was an upsurge and the regional party came into existence. First DMK, and later on there was a split, the AIDMK and DMK came into existence. But Bharatiya Janata Party believes that we will, who protected Jallikattu? It was Prime Minister Modi who has taken care. About vetri veil I have told you. So, we certainly are the political party where we want to protect the culture, the language, the sentiments of the local regional people, their aspirations, and try to assimilate on the national front. So, we are not one language party and domination of North or domination of Hindi speaking. No, we respect, and we respect in letter and spirit, Rahulji. It is not just a lip service which Congress has been doing for so many years. We believe in it, and that is why at least I have got confidence in me, and my party has the confidence that under the dynamic leadership of Prime Minister Modi, we will make through Tamil Nadu also and in southern states.
Now, Nadda ji, in the time that I have spent over the past few days talking to politicians in Tamil Nadu, the one sense that I pick up is that there is a perception here in Chennai and outside that the BJP is remote controlling the AIDMK, that you are dictating to Edappadi Palanisamy and O. Pannirselvam how the AIDMK should act. Now, this is a strong perception here. As the BJP president, what do you have to say to counter this growing belief in Tamil Nadu's political circles that it is the big brother sitting in Delhi who is dictating to the regional leaders in Tamil Nadu what they should and should not do?
No, we do not do that. That is not our style of functioning. Lot of misconception is always there by the opposition about us, but the fact is that we believe in democratic process. We respect the regional parties, we respect their decisions, and we are not there who act as a big brother and try to dictate through remote control. No, we do not do it, and it is for them, it is their decision on all issues. Had it been so, when we come to the alliance and the number of seats, it is a very democratic process which we have adopted. So, had there been a remote control, things would have been different. No, we do not believe in it. We believe that we should be pragmatic, we should be practical, and we should, in a democratic manner, we should give everybody the freedom, and it is their party, they have to run the show. But yes, in Tamil Nadu, whatever happens, the DMK, the opposition parties are to blame only Modi ji, only central government. This is not fair, and this is not done. The fact of the matter is that we believe in the spirit, letter and spirit of federalism, and also we give the autonomy to the respective political parties.
Nadda ji, one of the questions that is being asked so often here is the question about Sasikala. Now, Chinnamma came back from Bengaluru, there was a perception that she would be in active politics, now she is staying away. Then the BJP was trying to do a patch up between the EPS faction of the AIDMK ensured that the AMMK and Sasikala are also on the same ticket. That didn't happen. Are you disappointed with that? How do you view the Sasikala factor in this election? Have you been playing a role behind the scenes?
No, Rahulji, it has been their internal matter, and it was their decision. People tried to approach us, I am very clear about it, but we said it is your internal matter, you have to take the call, you have to decide about it, and frankly speaking, it is their own decision, it is their political party's decision, and it is Shashikala's decision. One thing only I can say, that Shashikala ji has said that she wants the golden rule of Amma, and that is what AIDMK is also wanting to do, and we are there to support that. So, certainly what Shashikala wants, that is being implemented by AIDMK, but as I told you that people try to approach us, but no, we have said very clearly that we do not interfere in any political party's work. It is their lookout to see how they can work, and how they can they have to take the decision, and this is not again I will say, this is the factual situation.
So, we have spoken about Tamil Nadu. I want to shift to Kerala, because when the whole Sabrimala protests and agitation happened, there was a moment when political observers felt that maybe the BJP will be able to do in Kerala what it was able to do in a state like West Bengal, come from the back and build a huge momentum. That didn't happen. Do you look at that as a missed opportunity? Where do you think the BJP faltered in Kerala at that time, and how do you see the BJP's role in the Kerala election, which is largely seen as a fight between the LDF on the one side and the UDF on the other?
First of all, as far as the Sabrimala is concerned, the stand of CPM has been dubious. The stand of Congress party, the UDF, has been very dubious. It is only Bharatiya Janata Party which has taken stand, and it is consistent in its stand. You see, we do not take such decisions only on the issue of how we are going to gain in politics, or how it will be a political gain. We decide things on merit, and we decide things on our thinking process which the party has developed, and the thinking process is that to protect the cultural identity, the religious identity, and to see to it that the heritage is conserved. So, keeping that factor in view, we have been consistent. We may get the benefit in elections, we may not get it. We may get benefit not in this election, in coming elections, but we want to put the record straight that we are the only consistent political party who has the intention to protect the cultural identity, the religious identity, and not on for political gains, but for the betterment of the people and for the spirit of federalism, nationalism, and for the religious sentiments. That is what we take care as far as the Sabrimala is concerned. And of course, we have done good in the local self-government elections, we have done good in panchayat elections, and in coming times we will do good in the Vidhan Sabha elections also. I will just try to explain you, Rahulji. Our vote share has increased from 5% to 16% in Vidhan Sabha election, and in Lok Sabha election it has increased to 19%. But the situation is that whenever in any seat we come to a winning situation, there is a compromise between LDF and UDF, and they try to see to it that whoever can defeat, we should defeat BJP. That is what is happening. So, it is not getting transferred in seats, but this time I must assure you that we will be doing good. People are fed up with the left and the UDF. Both are involved in scams. Both are scamsters parties. One is involved in gold scam, sprinkler scam. The other is involved in solar scam. So, both parties are involved in corruption, and people are fed up. They are looking for alternative. Yes, both the parties believe in appeasement. ये तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति करते हैं और हम संतुष्टीकरण की राजनीति करते हैं. तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति में जल्दी जवाब आ सकता है, लेकिन संतुष्टीकरण में फाइनल जवाब और परमानेंट जवाब आता है. सो वी आर गोइंग, इफ दैट इज द ओनली वे वेयर वी कैन protect the national aspirations, the regional aspirations, and we can go with the ideology of development. I think that we should go forward, and as I said that we will do good in Kerala elections.
सर, क्या आपको कभी कभी लगता है कि मोदी जी का जादू दक्षिण भारत में नहीं चलता? क्योंकि अगर आप वेस्ट इंडिया लेते हैं, नॉर्थ ईस्ट लेते हैं, ईस्ट लेते हैं, नॉर्थ इंडिया लेते हैं, स्पेशली द हिंदी बेल्ट, सब जगह बीजेपी ही बीजेपी है. लेकिन केरल हो या तमिलनाडु हो, कहीं लगता है कि जो जैसे ही सदर्न पेनिनसुला स्टार्ट होता है, बीजेपी का जो विजय रथ है वो वहां पे आके रुक जाता है.
नहीं, रुकता था, लेकिन अब नहीं. अब हम बढ़ते ही चले जा रहे हैं. यू सी, अभी बाई इलेक्शंस हुए इन तेलंगाना. वी हैव वन दुबाका सीट. अबव दुबाका सीट इट इज द चंद्रशेखर सीट. On the right hand side, it is the Chandrasekhar's son-in-law seat. On the southern side, it is the Chandrasekhar's son's seat, and we have one Dubaka seat. We have done very good in Hyderabad Municipal Corporation. We have been doing good in Karnataka, and in coming times we will do good in Kerala also. And Puducherry is going to be, we are going to form the government. So there is going to be a change, and this time we are going to break it in South also.
No, but in Kerala there has been a constant LDF to UDF cycle that may break in this election, but even then the fight is largely between the left and the Congress. What is the alternate vision, Nadda ji, that the BJP offers to the voters of Kerala? Why is it that you believe voters in Kerala should perceive you as a genuine alternate to this cycle between the LDF and the UDF?
First of all, development. Number two, no appeasement, but development of all. And people are fed up with appeasement. There is a communal feeling which has come up, that this party is supporting this community, this party is supporting this community and this religious sect, and it is only the Modi mantra, सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सबका विश्वास, and ultimately people are looking for alternative. We have to go forward in an aggressive manner and try to explain the people in the right perspective, and we are going to get results. That is what I feel.
I want to come now to Puducherry. Now, one of the criticisms of the BJP has been that जहां आपकी सीधे रास्ते से सरकार नहीं बनती, आप बैकडोर से बना लेते हो. Now, you were nowhere in the picture, yet your party is alleged to have worked behind the scenes to break the Congress, like you did in Karnataka, before that in Madhya Pradesh. So, if you do not win fairly, which you do often, you are also not averse to trying to win by crook and finding some backdoor way of being able to weaken your opponents. How do you respond to this?
Rahul ji, when we are defeated, we accept the defeat. When there is something wrong in our party, we accept it. But it is this Congress who has never accepted the reality of the situation. A bad craftsman always blames his tools, and that is what Congress party has been doing, and Narayan Swamy is also doing it. It is the Congress people who have defected. It is for him to take care of them. Whose responsibility was it? And whenever there is a problem in your party, BJP has done it. What is this? This is absolutely wrong, and they are not able to handle their own affairs. There was discontentment in the party. There is discontentment among the people in Puducherry. They were fed up with the corruption of Narayan Swamy government, and there was no development taking place. There was a public rally of Prime Minister Modi, and the turnout has given the signal that people want change there. So, we have to understand, and when you are not performing, you blame the others. This is not fair to us, and I feel that it is because until date there is no realization. You see, realization is the first step of uh, 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 making your ideology or your party victorious. But when you are not realizing, Rahul ji, what can the other party do and what can BJP do? For everything you blame BJP, this is not fair, and it is their own responsibility, their own handling of affairs which has led to the their friends have deserted them because of that.
So, we are at the India Today Conclave South, but I also want to ask you a few questions about the big battle in West Bengal, which is the most hard fought, bloody, brutal battle that we are seeing in this round of assembly elections. Now, recently West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee's cavalcade had an accident. She's hurt her leg. There were very dramatic pictures of her wrapped around with a protective covering on her leg. She is now supposed to be campaigning in a wheelchair, and the sense is कि इससे ममता बनर्जी को काफ़ी सिंपैथी मिल जाएगी और हो सकता है कि बीजेपी के लिए अब बंगाल पहले से थोड़ा मुश्किल हो गया, बिकॉज शी सेइंग मैं बंगाल की बेटी हूँ और मुझ पे ये देखो अटैक हो गया.
First of all, I wish for a speedy recovery of Madam Mamata Banerjee and the West Bengal Chief Minister. God should see to it that God should help her for a speedy recovery. As far as the incident is concerned, the Election Commission is yet to give its report, but I find that there is a deviation in the statement of Mamata ji, what she gave after the incident and what she gave yesterday. That itself speaks volumes about the incident. And you see, सच्चाई कभी छुपती नहीं है और बंगाल के लोग are very politically active also and politically alert also. They understand things. So of course ममता जी ने ये कोशिश करनी है, TMC ने कोशिश करनी है, and that they should do. But people of Bengal are very what I will say alert on issues related to politics. So they are going to react accordingly, and they are not going to, there will be no sympathy wave that way.
The opinion polls that have come, Nadda ji, over the last few weeks seem to suggest that the TMC still retains an edge in West Bengal, while the BJP is doing way better than it did in the last elections, including in the Lok Sabha elections. You are still not able to bridge the last 3 to 5% gap. How confident are you that between now and the first phase of polling and going up till the last phase of polling, you will be able to bridge this 3 to 5% gap which multiple different opinion polls are currently capturing in West Bengal?
Rahulji, you have used the word still. Still they are 3% above, and still the election and polling is to take place. I am confident that this time Mamata ji is going to be defeated. People are waiting to for the opportunity, and they are waiting for a free and fair elections, and I am confident that they are going to reject Tolabaji, they are going to reject Pishi Bhaipo, they are going to reject the cut money culture, they are going to reject the appeasement policy, and they are going to reject the criminalization of politics. And the befitting reply West Bengal people are going to give to TMC.
I want to ask a few personal questions. Now, you were made BJP president at a time when former BJP president Amit Shah went and joined the Home Ministry. His term as BJP president got over. Now, that is like having to become captain of the Indian team after Virat Kohli or after Sunil Gavaskar or after Sachin Tendulkar. How difficult was it to go in and try and fill such big shoes and having to do the same job that Amit Shah ji did before you? Were you always concerned about being judged by people within and without, that Nadda ji to ye kar rahe hain lekin isi situation mein Amit Shah kya karte?
You see, this problem comes only when in your thinking you think in terms of I think in terms of we. When I talk about Bharatiya Janata Party, I do not talk about I talk about 18 crore BJP members a galaxy of leaders, and I believe in what I always say is that collective leadership under the dynamic leadership of Prime Minister Modi. So, we are all collectively going forward. Where you have taken the example of Virat Kohli, you have taken the example of Indian cricket. What I say, I will give you the example of sports only. Becoming a captain of a team does not change your placement in the game. Supposing if you are a middle order batsman and you become a captain, you don't take the opportunity of becoming the opening batsman. Supposing in a football you are a full back and you become the captain, so you don't become a centre forward player. The same way here also JP Nadda has got his own style of functioning, and it is a functioning where we take the views of our every important leader and collectively we go forward. So, I do not feel that because the captain has changed, the style of functioning of Bharatiya Janata Party is going to change. We are working in continuity, and it is an addition that I have got an addition of Nitin Gadkari, I have got an addition of Rajnath Singh ji, I have got an addition of centre forward player like Amit Shah, and I take everybody into consideration, so I feel more strengthened. So, it is the Bharatiya Janata Party shoe which I am filling, and all together we are a strength to reckon with. So, I do not feel that anything is going to go the other way around, because it adds to the strength, and as a captain I am a person who take everybody along, and so under the dynamic leadership of Prime Minister Modi ji, who is not only acclaimed nationwide, but internationally also, it is an opportunity for us to work under his guidance and to see and build up the party, and that we do.
Nadda ji, as we conclude, what is your sense of the state of the opposition in the country? Do you feel your task is slightly easier because of how weak the opposition is? If you had a more formidable opposition, would then Indian politics have looked different in your view? And we saw Rahul Gandhi, for example, in Kerala recently swimming with the fishermen, jumping in, in those images that came out, you can see he has six-pack washboard abs. How do you see Rahul Gandhi's politics? Because very often I see you are tweeting very aggressively against him, and people in the Congress say if he is so useless and so inconsequential, why is Nadda ji and the entire BJP trying to take him on so often?
You see, there has been no tweet against Rahul Gandhi on a personal issue. It has been always on the political issue which I have been tweeting, and I have been tweeting because in Congress party the projection is always of Rahul Gandhi, even your media also, or everybody takes him accordingly. So, it becomes our primary responsibility to respond, and I want a credible opposition, that is what I want. But if I do not get, what can I do? It is for them to take care, it is for them to take the call, it is not for me to take the call. But yes, we believe in politics which has got content, politics which is for the nation, politics which is for the people, politics for becoming an instrument of change for the common man, and for that we are working.
Nadda ji, this is the first time we have had an opportunity to interact with you in a conclave setting. It took us a great amount of persuasion to convince you to join us, and I am very glad that you did. I want to thank you on behalf of the entire team of the India Today group. We want to thank you for having joined us at the India Today Conclave South. You have a big battle in Tamil Nadu, you got a big battle in Kerala, and then the biggest of all battles in West Bengal, apart from what is happening in Puducherry and Assam. So, you have spoken about your vision for these elections and your party's roadmap in the South. Thank you so much for joining us at the India Today Conclave South. BJP President JP Nadda.
Rahul ji, I would like to thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak on the issues related to South. It was you really requested, and I accepted the invitation. I really thank you for giving me this opportunity and giving me this opportunity to address such an illustrious gathering, and through them and through the channel addressing the issues related to South to your millions of viewers. I really thank you, Rahulji, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much for joining us, Jai Prakash Nadda. Thank you very much, sir.